keheningan senja nan jingga, saat minda mengukir bahagia, lisan bergerak menyebut, bertasbih, memuji pada Yang Esa. Tirai semalam tersingkap, membuka 1000 makna.
Dahulu kami di sini, bersama kami mengaji, bersama mengejar pelangi, bersama menggali erti, dan bersama kami bernyanyi. Nyanyian rohani meresap di hati sehingga detik ini.
Di gerbang pagar lama, setiap pagi kami melintasinya. Kembang kemboja seakan menyapa, haruman kenanga menyubur suasana.
Di benak kami masih segar, bundaran kecil tempat berligar. Di sana kami bergambar, citra wajah madrasah kami bersinar.
Terpahat di halaman satu kerinduan, menggamit segala kenangan. Sejuta wajah kami terbayang, asatizah kami suci, berseri dan tenang.
Ya Ilahi, rahmatilah pengasas madrasah ini, rahmatilah asatizah kami, Mereka pendidik kami. Mereka amat santun dan berbudi. Ada yang masih berbakti dan ada yang telah pergi.
Rahmatilah ya Rabbi Ustaz Abdullah bin Abdul Rahman Al-Junid, Ustaz Mahmud Abdul Majid dan Ustaz Khairuddin Abdul Hamid, Ustaz Muhammad bin Ziyad, Syekh Abdul Maqsud dan Syekh Mahmud, Ustaz Amir dan Ustaz Fir, Ustaz Masbur, Ustaz Mashhur dan Ustaz Ashur, Ustazah Syarafiyah B, Ustaz Tirmidhi, Ustaz Ahmad San Haji dan Ustaz Abdullah Al-Jufri.
Ya Ilahi, tersemat serumpun harapan di lubuk hati. Moga yang pergi ada pengganti, bisa menjunjung warisan suci, mengotak kata, sumpah dan janji, memartabatkan hamba-hamba Allah dan pewaris Nabi. Allahumma alhimna ilman nufaqihu bihi awamirak wa nawahik, warzuqna fahman na'lamu bihi kaifa nunajjik ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, berikanlah ilham kepada kami berupa ilmu yang dapat membuat kami memahami perintah-perintah-Mu, juga larangan-larangan-Mu, serta anugerahkanlah kepada kami kefahaman yang dapat membuat kami mengetahui bagaimana cara kami bermunajat kepadamu, ya Tuhan yang Maha Pengasih. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzaban nar.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang dihormati asatizah, para guru dan tenaga pengajar Madrasah Aljunied Al-Islamiah. Yang dimuliakan para panelis serta rakan-rakan alumni. Yang dikasihi para pelajar Madrasah Aljunied Al-Islamiah, ikhwan dan akhwat. Para hadirin dan hadirat sekalian, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Namira Muhammad Marsudi selaku penganjur, pengerusi dan panelis majlis merasa sangat berbesar hati kerana diberikan kesempatan menggalas tanggungjawab ini sebagai pengubat rindu terhadap madrasah yang tercinta. Untuk lebih memberkati majlis pada petang yang berbahagia ini, marilah kita memulakannya dengan Ummul Quran Surah Al-Fatihah. Amin, amin, amin ya Rabbal Alamin. Alhamdulillah. Sebentar tadi telah pun kita melihat satu video yang sangat menggusik jiwa, di mana sebuah puisi karangan Al-Fadhil Ustaz Qamaruzzaman Afandi dideklamasikan oleh barisan asatizah mapan yang merupakan bekas pelajar Madrasah Aljunied Al-Islamiah. Begitulah hebatnya madrasah ini. Sejauh manapun para graduannya merantau atau di mana jua fasa kehidupan mereka, hati terpukul untuk terus kembali. Dan dikarenakan kerinduan ini jugalah, maka terlaksanalah majlis hari ini. Ribuan terima kasih juga di atas sumbangan yang diberikan. Sangatlah dialu-alukan sokongan anda demi kemaslahatan madrasah kita. Ayolah terus menghulurkan bantuan di Mohd yang tertera di atas. Kini diterangkan secara ringkas butiran, terma dan syarat majlis. Yang pertama, dari sudut bahasa, keeping it casual, majlis ini dijalankan in a mix of English and Malay. Yang kedua, disclaimer. Do note that online conferences cannot fully replace face-to-face consultations due to various limitations. It is to be taken from a general point of view, so please follow up with thorough examinations from healthcare professionals. Number 3, do note that event is recorded and used for endometriosis awareness campaigns. Number 4, we request that you enable your video. This is to show mutual participation. Number 5, please remain on mute unless you need to voice questions during Q&A. You may also ask in the chat and I will read it out during Q&A segment. Do indicate the speaker you are addressing your question at. And finally, please remain tactful and courteous. At the end of this event, as you click on the leave button, you will be brought to provide your feedback post-webinar. It is a short survey that takes around 5 minutes of your time, but it is essential to the movement's development. So please help us improve. Should you need to reach out to any of the speakers after the event, fret not. I will be posting the details on Instagram and website by the following week. So if you have yet to follow the movement on Instagram, please do so. Just search for E for endometriosis or go to www.endosupport.sg. You can also look at the speaker's Zoom background. Their social accounts are listed there too. This event is also streaming live on YouTube. Just search for the YouTube channel Namira Muhammad. This is for your easy reference whenever you wish to view or share it at your convenience. Selanjutnya, dipersilakan my chair yang sangat dikasihi Cikgu Khairiana Zainal Abidin, Mudirah Madrasah Aljunied Al-Islamiah, untuk memberikan sepatah dua kata seterusnya merasmikan majlis hari ini. Dipersilakan Cikgu dengan segala hormatnya.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin wa bihi nasta'in ala umuri dunya waddin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ilahi anta maqsudi wa ridaka matlubi a'tini mahabbataka wa ma'rifatak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kepada yang saya hormati Namira, Masya Allah, dan ahli panel yang merupakan anak didik saya juga. I'm so happy to see the panels today. Tadi tengah kita test kan, macam excited gitu saya tiba-tiba. Dan bila saya lihat para akhwat dah mula masuk, I keep seeing, in the slides that I'm seeing familiar faces, Masya Allah. Tiba-tiba menggamit kembali segala kenangan saya bila antum menjadi anak murid saya, Masya Allah. I'm so glad to see you all again. Hari ini adalah, this is the very first actually pioneer program done by ladies, Masya Allah. to create awareness. Secara jujur saya sendiri tak tahu. Pernah ada di antara staff saya yang satu hari dia setiap kali kalau makzura tu dia akan masuk bawah meja kerana segugut, kerana sakit. Kita kurang faham sebenarnya kenapa belakang kita cuma tahu tu segugut. We don't know that, I don't know that it has connection with a certain penyakit yang perlu kita tahu sebenarnya. Kerana bila kita tahu, even as reporting officer atau leader of the school, kita akan lebih peka tentang masalah yang dihadapi oleh staff kita. Ya, jadi saya rasa program hari ini sangat insya-Allah bermanfaat. You gonna share some tips on exercising sebab kita tahu kita ni orang perempuan kadang-kadang bila masak kat dapur kita yang rasa dulu, anak tak habis makan kita yang habiskan dulu, jadi yang menambah babat adalah kita, dan kita perlu juga menjaga kesihatan kita kerana prinsip saya adalah begini, prinsip saya ya. Kesihatan kita kalau baik, insya-Allah kita boleh lebih lama berkhidmat pada suami, berkhidmat untuk anak-anak, berkhidmat pada masyarakat, berkhidmat pada kerja yang antum sekarang sedang memberikan khidmat antum. Memang penyakit itu datang daripada Allah, tapi kita harus usaha. So saya rasa this is gonna be a very fruitful session also, sebab bila kita ada penyakit seperti ini, kita tak boleh lari orang perempuan kita ada tanggungjawab dan amanah untuk dilaksanakan pada Allah, iaitu solat kita. So kita tak nak dalam keadaan kita sakit macam ni kita merasa was-was boleh solat ke tidak ke. Jadi perlu untuk kita meningkatkan ilmu kita, bukan hanya kerana kita yang sekarang sedang sakit. Boleh juga mungkin kawan-kawan kita in future, kita tak tahu lah sama Allah, kita boleh memberikan pandangan dan boleh memberikan sedikit ilmu yang kita ada. Lastly, I would like to say thank you so much dalam antum meraih ilmu pada hari ini. Sebenarnya antum telah beramal, ya, beramal dengan memberikan infak kepada Madrasah Aljunied. Kita tahu Madrasah Aljunied adalah satu institusi yang melahirkan para ulama, dan visi dan misinya tidak pernah berubah daripada dulu hingga ke sekarang. Kami ingin melahirkan para ulama yang progresif, yang global, yang penting untuk masyarakat Islam Singapura dan di Nusantara. So segala pemberian antum insya-Allah akan kami manfaatkan dengan sebaik-baiknya untuk melahirkan para graduan dan ulama masa depan untuk ummah insya-Allah. So with that, I would like to say thank you once again. Barakallahu fikunna fid dunya wal akhirah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jutaan terima kasih Cikgu Khairiana for the enlightening opening speech in the spirit of the event. Your advice has shed light on the importance of creating endometriosis awareness, and I hope many of us here will continue having this conversation even after the event, because the more we talk about it, the more we understand that it is a real condition. Majlis diteruskan kini dengan segmen pertama, iaitu segmen saya. Apakah senggugut itu normal? Is painful period normal? Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I will share my screen. Maafkan, I have to share my screen in this manner due to some technical issues. Nevertheless, I hope the important takeaways are noted, and this does not disrupt your understanding of the topic in any way, inshallah. With this said, I feel it is only appropriate to begin the presentation by first understanding the objective of why we have this session, why the need for it, and why this discussion should continue outside this event. Let's watch this short clip for the answer.
The International Survey of Women asked 14,000 women in 14 countries about their periods. Even when they feel something is wrong, many women are still uncomfortable talking about their periods with healthcare professionals. More than half of women aged 16 to 22 who felt their periods were abnormal had not seen a doctor. 50% of 16 to 22-year-old women rely on family and friends to judge what is normal. 1 in 10 women who felt their periods were abnormal had not even spoken to either friends or family or searched online for help. Even if pelvic pain was so severe that they had to stay in bed, 70% of women would not visit a doctor. Women may find it difficult to know when to visit a doctor, as nearly 8 out of 10 women stated that they had not learned at school what is considered a normal period. Painful periods and chronic pain may indicate endometriosis, a serious condition that can have devastating effects for those affected by the disease. Chronic pain caused by endometriosis can make it difficult for women to perform daily tasks. Results show that there's a very low awareness of the condition. Less than half of the women surveyed knew of endometriosis, and 73% of 16 to 22-year-old women have never even heard of it. But 1 in 10 women of reproductive age are affected by the condition. That's an estimated 176 million women worldwide. If left untreated, endometriosis can damage a woman's internal organs and compromise her fertility. The results of this survey highlight the risk to young women's health and fertility, as conditions such as endometriosis may go undiagnosed.
Menstrual health is a serious but overlooked issue among us women. Shame, stigma, and misinformation surrounding menstruation contribute to this ignorance. This results in serious health consequences of menstruation, including menstrual disorders, which are too often neglected. To end the ignorance, we need to refute the stigmas by taking control of our health and vocalizing our health issues as part of everyday conversations. With this highlighted, I shall proceed with my slides that aim to share 3 points. What is endometriosis? What is E for endometriosis all about? And my journey with endometriosis. So what is endometriosis? Let's watch this short video to find out.
176 million women worldwide have endometriosis. This is 1 in 10 during their reproductive years, which are typically from when the period starts until menopause. Symptoms can include pain before and during periods, at ovulation, when going to the toilet, and for some, chronic pelvic pain, as well as fatigue, painful sex, and difficulty getting pregnant. Many people don't realize these are symptoms of endometriosis. This lack of awareness frequently causes a delay in getting treatment. Endometriosis occurs when cells similar to endometrium, which is the lining of the uterus, are found outside of the uterus. These misplaced cells, known as lesions, grow and bleed each month in response to hormonal changes, just like the endometrium does during the normal menstrual cycle. This results in inflammation, causing scar tissue and adhesions, which are bands of fibrous tissue that stick organs together. Endometriosis lesions are most common inside and on the ovaries, where they are known as chocolate cysts. On the fallopian tubes, on and behind the lower part of the uterus, on the uterosacral ligaments, which are the bands of tissue holding the uterus in place, on the bowel and bladder, and on the lining of the pelvis, called the peritoneum. In rare cases, endometriosis can be found outside of the pelvic cavity. Why some women develop endometriosis and others don't isn't clear. It's likely that certain genes may predispose some women to develop the disease. Endometriosis is not contagious and it is not sexually transmitted. Diagnosing endometriosis can be difficult because it is often mistaken for other conditions with similar symptoms. A combination of pelvic examination and a list of symptoms can help your gynecologist reach a diagnosis. Talk clearly and frankly about your symptoms, how often you have them, and how bad they are. A conclusive diagnosis may require a laparoscopy. This is a minor surgical procedure where small incisions are made in the abdomen to insert a laparoscope, a long tubular instrument with a light at the end. That allows the surgeon to see endometriotic lesions. There is no known cure for endometriosis, but there are treatments which can help relieve your symptoms and improve your quality of life. The trick is to find the right solution for you. This means talking with your doctor about your symptoms, how they affect your daily life, and discussing whether you want to have children now or in the future. Endometriosis affects 1 in 10 women during the prime of life. You can fight endometriosis. Don't accept pain as normal.
In a nutshell, endometriosis is a chronic inflammatory condition driven by the hormone estrogen. It is a painful chronic disease that has no cure. Depending on where the scar is formed, it will cause symptoms such as menstrual cramps or senggugut, bowel issues, pain during intercourse, or even infertility. The American Society of Reproductive Medicine, ASRM, stages or grades endometriosis according to the number of lesion and depth of infiltration. There are 4 stages altogether: minimal, stage 1, mild, stage 2, moderate, stage 3, and severe, stage 4. The cause of endometriosis is unknown. At present, there is no known way to prevent endometriosis. Cultural attitudes towards the menstrual cycle as a hygienic crisis or embarrassing burden have profoundly adverse effects. In today's progressive society, ignorance of facts can lead to deficient health practices and adverse medical, educational, and social outcomes. This cry for help is not a matter only we in Singapore are facing. It is a global issue, as discussed in this TV show in Australia called Inside.
Was endometriosis ever mentioned?
I was misdiagnosed with gastro. He put it down to just having a 24-hour virus.
The pain was so bad, I ended up having 3 seizures that day.
I went to the doctor and she was told, oh, it's in your head.
I've had 9 surgeries.
It's like a war zone down there.
It took 12 years to be diagnosed.
You don't catch up with your girlfriends with a wine and say, you know, how's your period going?
The more we talk about it, the more we understand that it is a very real condition.
It is just not acceptable that women have to go through so much before they actually receive a diagnosis.
Quoting an article from Channel News Asia dated 10 of June 2021, awareness is sadly lacking among the general population, among doctors, and even specialists themselves. Many get dismissed even when they get to the GP for a pain injection during their menses. Some are told it is all in the head or to just accept it. Others are even told by specialists that it is normal. For as long as we are normalizing this prejudice, the silencing of our women's health in this area continues. If these painful symptoms are dismissed as primary dysmenorrhea or senggugut, then a doctor won't investigate further. And this contributes to the delay in diagnosis and timely management of symptomatic endometriosis. There is still a very low recognition of endometriosis at the general practitioner level, and that is where young women would usually go with their painful symptoms. So, what is a normal period? Let's watch this short video to find out.
Un ciclo menstrual normal tendría que durar 28 días, más o menos 3 o 4, podría ser de 33 y podría ser de 26. Tendrías que menstruar un día fuerte, 2 o 3 días flojos y parar, eso sería, no tendría que haber coágulos y no tendría que haber dolor. Y la pérdida no tiene que ser nunca superior a 100 centímetros cúbicos, que es un vaso de vino, porque es el tamaño del útero normal. El ciclo normal no tiene que doler y no tendría que haber síndrome premenstrual. Los días antes no te tendrías que enterar, la menstruación tendría que aparecer de una manera pues espontánea. Ah, sí, estamos en el 28, pues mira, me toca, pues ha tocado. el síndrome premenstrual como el dolor indican una alteración neuroendocrina en el cuerpo.
Like many others, a lot of what I thought was a normal period is not. I was told that painful menstruation is normal, that the pain will get better after childbirth, and that women are supposed to endure pain because women are created to bring life into this world. And when I expressed pain, with me clutching my stomach, pretty much paralyzed from the pain, I was told to bear with it and not complain, that this is what every woman would go through every month. So here is me telling you, please be aware. Painful menstruation is not normal. As long as it inhibits your daily activities, all these symptoms listed are not normal. Should any one of you face such a predicament and hesitate to get yourself treated because you are afraid of being judged, I hope this session provides you with the acknowledgement that caring for your well-being should not be made to make you feel embarrassed. In fact, you should be proud of yourself for taking notice of the unusual symptoms. So go ahead, continue learning and understanding your body, and in time, your overall health too. In a timeline, E for endometriosis started in 2012 as a way for me to vent my frustration through the mode of blogging. It soon takes up a different tone, that of educating and nurturing, after realizing that awareness is lacking. This makes it Singapore's first endometriosis awareness and support, hence the slogan paving the way. With the vision to be the leading one-stop avenue in Singapore that educates, advocates, supports and provides proper channels on matter relating to endometriosis, E for endometriosis eventually got into the radar of several media platforms. It was finally ACRA registered in 2017. The Facebook group page, known as Singapore Endometriosis Support Group, was set up the following year upon receiving encouraging support from a now retired nurse at NUH, Miss Bati. The Facebook page is created to provide a safe space for patients, caregivers, and like-minded people to interact and support each other on matters relating to endometriosis. In the year 2021, we got a sponsorship from Bayer, and with the funding, a proper website, endosupport.sg, was created and launched in conjunction with the International Endometriosis Awareness Month, which is in March. So why yellow ribbon? Yellow has been universally known to be the color for endometriosis awareness since 1980 by Mary Lou, President, Executive Director, and founder of the Endometriosis Association, founded in Milwaukee, USA. The yellow ribbon became a universal badge of solidarity to those fighting for endometriosis awareness, and it continues to be the symbol associated with the disease. As you can see from the photos here, there is endometriosis awareness from all over the world: Dubai, UK, South Africa, Malaysia, and thankfully Singapore, under our movement, E for endometriosis. E for endometriosis has been advocating endometriosis awareness for almost a decade now. Through these years, a lot has been put through in reaching a future where endometriosis care is no longer foreign to us. Some of our previous advocate efforts which are implemented in some clinics and hospitals are: number one, the endometriosis self-assessment questionnaire. Suspect that you or your loved one could be having endometriosis, and I understand that it can be difficult to string words together on what you are experiencing, living in pain, and from the constant rejections you get from the people around you. Hence, this questionnaire is developed. The idea is for you to show to your physician or whomever you feel needs to know when verbalizing becomes hard, and for you to get immediate attention from an endometriosis specialist should your result indicates highly likely you have endometriosis. the survey. To fill in the gap in the statistical figures regarding endometriosis here in Singapore, this survey is being carried out. The patient support, which is the Singapore Endometriosis Support Group, the Facebook page group, where the 3 endometriosis clinics in our public hospitals, NUH, KKH, and SGH, direct their patients to our support group to attain moral support. Other advocacy efforts include talks, collaborative works with local hospitals, clinics, and other organizations, correspondence with the Health Promotion Board and Member of Parliament, and the list goes on. And all this information can be attained on the website endosupport.sg. It is such a privilege to be working alongside Dr. Mali, who runs the endometriosis clinic in NUH. She is the campaigns consultant for providing clarity on medical-related inquiries. Her expertise in endometriosis is apparent, having made it to the international list of endometriosis experts in I Care Better after extensive vetting. I Care Better is an innovative platform dedicated to helping patients with endometriosis and chronic pelvic pain find compassionate and skilled experts. You may reach out to her in the chat box on the website endosupport.sg. You may also drop her an email. Now that we have learned about endometriosis and the support system E for endometriosis provides, who then manages E for endometriosis? E for endometriosis is a one-woman army managed by me. A short bio about myself. I am battling multiple chronic conditions with stage 4 endometriosis being one. I have had 5 complex surgeries and was admitted to IMH for depression, most of which is due to endometriosis. I hold a full-time job, and like many other career women, I also juggle wife duties and caring for my Merdeka generation parents, being their primary caregiver. Looking back at all those years of running into solid brick walls in paving the way for others to be heard and feel supported is humbling. It has been a long journey. I remember the early days when I would randomly start a conversation on endometriosis with just anyone I know. With zero knowledge of public outreach, I did it the hard way. I printed flyers, banners, and button pins using my own pocket money just to get the words across. I also remembered the most challenging point in my life, having left with only $5 in my bank account, released from employment, and with medical treatments in tow. I continued rallying awareness. I went out of my way to show support, paid a visit to fellow warriors who reached out to me, self-taught some skills in digital media, and enrolled in courses that would impart me with the knowledge in providing a better listening ear. Be it day or night, in pain or not, I feel strongly about being available for the community. Advocating about endometriosis is a calling attained when I was in IMH. Sometimes you have got to lose your mind to find the peace of mind. And IMH is the place that I needed to be for me to reach an epiphany. It is where I finally get to slow down and learn to stop and smell the roses. It has also taught me to react appropriately, especially on intrusive matters, without discrediting my emotions, simply because not all actions need a reaction. If there is one silver lining from being constantly bogged down, is that the more I retaliate, the faster I sink. So shifting my perspective has been my game changer. Some problems remain unsolved, but it allows me to be kind to myself. This journey in creating awareness has been one of the loneliest paths I've walked, but it must be done. So I keep going. I believe that for a change to happen, it must start somewhere. And I decided that instead of waiting and wishing on what could be and what should be, I will just make it happen. No one could understand this burning compassion I have for creating awareness. To them, I am wasting my time with matters that do not provide any form of reciprocal benefits. What I am doing is just letting myself burn in it. But there is beauty in all this pain. The compelling reasons that keep me going are my niece and nephew. Whenever I look at them, it sets me back to why this journey matters. I hope that when they have grown up, they live in a world where they are valued for the person they are, instead of being labeled with antiquated expectations. Fertile or not, it doesn't make a woman any lesser of a woman. If there is one thing I would like you to remember from today's presentation is that we are all connected by a simple wish to be visible, to be heard, to know that we matter. So while the uncertainties surrounding endometriosis are scary, let there be one hopeful certainty that the awareness today shall pave the way to the betterment of tomorrow, one e-sign at a time. Thank you for listening. And here's the mode of donations to Madrasah Aljunied Al-Islamiah. You may screenshot this and save it on your desktop or your phone. Semoga menjadi pendorong untuk terus memberi sumbangan kepada Madrasah Aljunied yang tercinta yang telah melahirkan ramai ulama setempat dan juga ulama di negara jiran Malaysia dan Brunei. Okay, I'll stop sharing from here. Selanjutnya, kita beredar ke segmen yang kedua, iaitu senaman bina kekuatan dan kitaran H. Strength Training or Women's Cycle. Wow, itu wow dia punya tajuk dia ya. Segmen ini akan dikendalikan oleh rakan mufawadah saya iaitu Coach Iliana Ilyas. Beliau juga merupakan seorang competitive powerlifter ya. Okey, memang tidak pandan kecil orangnya. Namun kepakaran beliau dalam jurusan ini sangat mengkagumkan. Tanpa membuang masa lagi, saya mempersilakan Coach Iliana Ilyas. Falyatafaddal mashkura.
Masya-Allah. Masya-Allah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh everyone. Okay, this is my first time giving talk for my own school after berapa tahun dah tinggalkan madrasah. I think over berapa tahun Nami? Oh gosh,
close to 20 years I think, Yana.
Close to 20 years. Okay, so close to 20 years. There's a lot of things I want to share, but unfortunately I'm being given a timing about 20 minutes to share about strength training and also woman's period cycle. Okay, basically I punya forte is the strength training, but this woman period cycle is an additional to strength training. Okay, so apa benda yang kita boleh buat untuk mendapatkan untuk ada kitaran head yang baik, on top of that kita boleh buat strength training juga in the same dalam masa yang sama. Okay, let me share a bit on the slide that I have here. Okay, I minta maaf dulu because maybe dia macam kancong sikit. Okay, alright. So ramai orang bila kita cakap pasal strength training, first and foremost they will remember is angkat berat. Itu benda yang akan terlintas dalam fikiran mana-mana orang, perempuan ke lelaki ke, dia akan fikir yang this thing dia kena angkat berat. No, it's actually not. Okay, tak semestinya strength training tu kena angkat benda-benda berat? Tidak. Okay, tidak. I have to tell you, tidak. Okay, so apa yang saya akan cover for today punya topic will be content. Okay, first will be the women's menstrual cycle. Okay, then after that will follow by definition of strength training, apa benefit strength training, type of stretching that orang yang mempunyai masalah endrio boleh buat, ataupun mereka yang mempunyai masalah endrio dan mereka yang tidak mempunyai masalah endrio pun boleh buat this stretching. Then also a plan workout plan. Very basic, very simple. We go for the first slide. Okay. All right. So let me. Okay. So women's menstruation cycle ni terbahagi kepada 3. Okay, dia ada tiga tahap. First is follicle phase lah. Follicle phase maknanya hari yang pertama sehingga hari yang ke-7. Okay, at this few ada orang yang akan rasa period pain, ada cramp, ada orang yang tak ada rasa apa-apa. Okay, so I'm talking generally, ini untuk orang yang general yang mereka tidak mempunyai apa-apa masalah. Alright, selalunya mereka yang mempunyai yang at this first, you have to understand that your body macam ada perubahan sikit. Okay, one good thing about wanita ni adalah kita dalam sebulan tu our mood will be at these 3 phases. Maknanya kita can be very active, very happy at the first few days, then the second phase and the last phase. So it's like kalau you perasan, I don't know, but I myself perasan, kalau every month I have a different character based on this different phase. You know, sometimes I wonder, is this normal? So I actually came out to Namira and asked her whether benda ni normal ke? Dia cakap, yeah, this is normal. Because at one point, bila you dah tengah ada period, you tend to have high, okay, macam contoh follicle phase tu, you punya estrogen naik. You know, mula-mula dia akan slow, lepas tu dia akan naik. So, bila dia naik tu, dia macam a bit, it's not that good pada permulaan, but after 4 or 5 days, you are okay already. You know, compared to the first few days waktu we period. Then I would recommend for those yang memang buat workout, memang hari-hari ada their own training, ataupun they want to start their healthy lifestyle tapi macam don't know what to do during period. Okay, this is what I can recommend to you. Pada permulaan, kalau let's say you tengah period, hari yang ke-4, hari yang ke-5, you rasa badan you okay, boleh take it, you can go with a moderate training intensity. Okay, moderate training intensity. Pada siapa yang tak ada period pain, pada siapa yang mempunyai period pain, just go for movement. As long as you move, make your body move, itu sebenarnya. Okay, I understand sometimes you just nak baring, nak tidur je kan, nak cramp, nak curl your body macam apa tu, tenggiling. What is tenggiling? You know, like just curl your body. But it is advisable for you to move your body during your period. Okay, I know it might be sakit, tapi this is to help your blood flow. Okay, then after that period of day 1 until day 7, okay, after day 7 normally orang akan dah habis period. Okay, at this point, right after the menstruation, your estrogen akan increase. Okay, this part, estrogen dia akan bantu untuk to build the muscle, to have a better recovery, and also you will be slightly energetic compared to during your period time. Okay, so mostly people at this stage, we would recommend, and you can actually go for a little bit high intensity, but there's a but there. At this phase kan, dia punya, you are prone to injury because you punya tendon and your muscles are, you know, dia baru beralih daripada satu tahap ke satu tahap lain. So kat sini kita banyak sarankan untuk warm up dengan baik dan juga cool down dengan baik. Okay, warm up tu means you really have to like stretch your body betul-betul before you do some workout. Saya bagi contoh, misal kata you nak buat squat, okay, you nak buat just normal weight squat. Just make sure that you have sometimes people are very eager, diorang nak terus go, okay, I want to do 50 body weight squat for today because I dah habis menses, so I want to start my workout. Yes, you can go with 50, but you must start with a very moderate punya pace, you know, kasih panas sikit badan, make sure that your butt, your legs are dah macam dah cukup panas, then you start with whatever workout that you want to do. So a proper warm up is needed at this phase, and also bila kita dah cooling down, so we need to stretch. You need to stretch before workout and also after workout. Okay, this is to prevent from injury. All right, and the last one is luteal phase. This is when selepas 14 hari tu, selepas ovulation punya phase, dia punya ni kita orang dia panggil macam roller coaster phase, macam the PMS starts to come in, you start to have cravings, you start to have mood swing, crappy, you know. This is when you rasa macam you don't feel like doing anything, you know, you just nak bermalas-malasan. I myself, talking from experience, I myself also face the same thing. Bila dekat dalam phase ni bila ada training I rasa macam what is wrong with me. I sometimes I even have my own coach lah. I even ask him why I don't have motivation like the previous week, you know, because we have like every week we have like certain volume that we need to capai, you know, at certain weight kita kena carry. Why is this week so macam sometimes I just skip my training because I don't have the motivation. I don't understand that time. I didn't understand this part. I thought it was me, you know. Perempuan kan biasa emosi dia macam sometimes macam like it's just me. No, it's not. It's just the cycle of perubahan dalam tubuh badan manusia. Dan at that point, then baru I faham, okay, this part I cannot go with high intense. I cannot go with the normal routine that I do. Normally at this luteal, you can do something that is fun, that benda yang berbeza daripada routine you. Okay, contoh you can go for a run or you can go for hiking, you know, as long as it makes you feel happy. Kenapa kita galakkan orang yang tengah menses untuk bergerak ataupun untuk exercise atau untuk workout? Because it helps you to improve your mood. Because dia akan, with this all exercises, kita akan keluarkan satu hormon nama dia endorphin. So endorphin will make you happy. Okay, so automatically selepas workout, you akan automatically rasa macam, oh, actually tak ada apa-apa sangat pun, you know, it's just like some kind of perasaan sendiri, you know. That after workout tu, you definitely, insyaAllah, dengan izin Allah, you will feel good about yourself. You will feel good. Alright, and also it also helps you to improve your menstrual cycle. Okay, dia melancarkan peredaran darah. Alright, dan dia juga helps you to balance your hormone and also cut actually a lot of cravings lah. Alright, kadang-kadang cravings tu membuatkan kita rasa macam kita nak makan macam-macam. Actually, cravings, you need to get a proper food in order for you to cut the crave. Alright, sometimes you feel like, oh, I want something salty. It's actually benda yang lain yang you nak. Okay, saya bagi satu contoh. Bila you rasa lapar, lapar sangat. Padahal baru lepas makan. Tapi lapar, ya Allah, kenapa ni lapar sangat? What I would normally recommend people to do, and I myself do also, minum air dulu. Because your mind actually telling you, dia macam your mind tak tahu tau, sama ada ni haus ke lapar, tapi dia akan pergi pada lapar. Okay, so that's why when people dah makan tapi dia rasa lapar lagi, try untuk minum air dulu. Minum air, you know, like 1 cawan, 2 cawan. You see after that, what's the effect? Kalau you masih lapar, okay, memang you betul lapar. Tapi kalau after that you kenyang, it's actually your body nak minum, tapi dia bercakap dia lapar. You know? So, kalau memang betul you tak makan hari tu, you lapar, memang you kena makan lah. Tapi kalau you dah makan, tapi you rasa lapar, oh, there must be something wrong. So that's how you want to identify whether the food that you eat sama ada benda tu betul you perlukan atau tidak. Okay, this is to educate yourself not to eat too much. Selalu kalau at this point bila ada crave kan, kita makan macam-macam nak makan, tapi actually kita nak kena control juga, because menstrual cycle ni, kita rahim ni ada berkaitan dengan pemakanan juga. I have to highlight this. Sometimes dia kenapa kita galakkan untuk makan balanced diet, because dia membantu untuk hormon, dia membantu untuk you punya digestion, okay, dan kerapkan banyak minum air masak, air putih. Okay, this is also helps you to detox, to keluarkan all the toxins dalam perut and melancarkan lagi peredaran darah tu. Okay, right. So this is the best part about what I'm doing. Okay, so I would want to share pada wanita-wanita sana, okay, pada kaum-kaum ibu, kakak-kakak, makcik-makcik, my friends, my beloved sisters. Doing strength training, dia bukan mengangkat berat, bukan mengangkat benda-benda yang menjadikan kita sadar, tidak. Okay, wallahi, bila you buat strength training, you tak akan keluar badan macam berketul-ketul macam tu. No. Kalau berketul-ketul, Namira will be the first person, I will be the second person. Okay, alright. So kenapa strength training ni penting dalam kehidupan kita manusia, especially wanita. Okay, I'm not talking about men, sebab mereka memang ada ability untuk membuat sesuatu lebih, kemampuan lebih daripada wanita. Tapi perempuan ni kita perlukan untuk ada strength, kerana it will help us dalam our daily chores, macam kehidupan kita seharian. Saya bagi contoh. Kalau you pergi pasar, okay, you have a lot of things to carry, benda berat, and you are alone without any trolley ataupun bakul pasar tu. You have to carry all this. Okay, hari hujan, bayangkan hari hujan, you tak ada payung, kereta jauh, barang banyak. Macam ya Allah, macam mana ni? You tak nak you kena angkut juga. Okay, this is when strength training comes in. Bila kita dah kerap train ataupun latih badan kita untuk mengangkat suatu bebanan, okay, ia membantu kita untuk angkat barang-barang tu and just run, or you just walk fast, you know, with the strength that you have. Okay, benda ni bukan hari ni I buat strength training, besok I dah boleh kuat. No, you know, it takes a while. Okay, it takes a while. Macam tadi I saw one of Namira punya video, she's carrying 105 kilo of deadlift. That is incredible. Okay, and it's not an easy thing. Okay, I think I have to go training for almost few months, you know, to carry that 105. And it's not easy. Okay, apa yang membuatkan strength training ni the best thing to do is the benefits that you can get. Okay, first, it will improve your metabolism. Okay, you will tend to how should I say? You will tend to see yourself in a better shape. Okay, you akan you akan nampak you punya body posture structure differently. Okay, after your strength training, it also helps you to strengthen your bones. Bones kita ni ada density tau. So bila kita buat satu workout yang ada bebanan, dia akan membantu bone kita untuk lebih padat. Ini yang ramai orang tak tahu. Bila lebih padat, kalau satu benda, okay, let's say kita ambil botol air, kita masukkan pasir, sebanyak-banyak pasir sampai betul-betul padat botol tu, what would happen? Kalau kita crumple macam tu, dia boleh crumple ke? No. Dia akan jadi lebih padat, and it will be stronger and stronger. Okay, this will help you pada masa bila nanti kita dah berumur. Ramai orang yang tak tahu, sebab bila kita berumur, ability kita untuk bergerak okay, I'm talking about bila kita dah berumur. Kalau orang yang tak buat strength training, dia akan lebih slow jalan, lebih berhati-hati. Sebab apa? Sebab takut jatuh. Apabila jatuh, dia akan membuatkan seorang itu dalam keadaan bahaya. Okay, anything can happen. You can break your bone, you can terselio, ligament lari, things like that. But kalau kita buat strength training, bila bones kita dah padat, okay, it will help you to balance yourself better. Okay, and lebih tegap compare to kita. You can always see orang-orang Westerns, those that carry weights, they have more better posture, better body posture, lagi tegap bila jalan. Okay, compare dengan mereka yang tak, dia akan membungkuk, dia akan jalan, they will use a walking stick untuk bergerak. Okay, ini perbezaan dia. Another thing, it will also help you to lose weight. Ooh, everyone loves this. I also love this. Okay, lose weight. Siapa tak nak lose weight? Okay, kenapa I said strength training ni membantu untuk lose weight? I'm not saying that other trainings tidak membantu, tidak. Everything, okay, you have to understand when we talk about health, we talk about health as in human being punya keseluruhan, dia termasuk well-being, mental health, persekitaran, all those things. Not only strength training membantu untuk lose weight, okay, dia juga membantu untuk memperbaiki mood kita dan juga our mental health. Alright. Kenapa? Because it will actually create more hormones that will make you balance, balance your hormone daripada segi your happy mood, your oxytocin, all those hormones yang memang diperlukan. Banyak orang dia lupa tentang kebaikan hormon-hormon ni. Kalau hormon ni tidak dikeluarkan, maka orang tu yang akan suffer from mental health. Yeah, they will feel they will have low self-esteem. But all this will help you to increase your confidence. It will help you to actually see life in a better perspective. You can think clearer, Oh, okay. Sorry, I have to go back to the lose weight. Okay, because this topic every perempuan suka. Okay, memang cardio. Okay, kita tahu strength training, we have also cardio training. Cardio training membantu untuk menguatkan you punya jantung, you punya cardiovascular. Dia menguatkan you untuk bertahan lebih lama. Okay, bila berjalan naik tangga, ada orang naik tangga 5 minutes ya Allah penat. Okay, tapi ada orang yang memang dia dah train with the cardiovascular yang kuat, steady je naik tangga 5 minutes, no problem. Okay, but when you do strength training, the best thing, benda ni dia akan membuatkan you bakar, okay, how should I say, bakar kalori lebih lama, lebih panjang. Okay, dan dia juga membantu you untuk shapen your body. You have a leaner body. Okay, wah sampai segini this is typical people who have like body macam ni. Okay, they will have a leaner body. Okay, you will have a better posture. You have a better posture and good looking. Okay, and there was also research said that people who lift weights, they tend to look 5 years younger than their age. This is Cenana, you can have the answer why why just now before offline sebelum kita mula, kita tengah buat some technical rehearsal, she was telling, and Kak Nadia was telling, teacher, diorang tengoklah, diorang ni muka tak berubah. That is the reason why we look tak berubah. Masya Allah, Quran Allah. Okay, so yeah, benda-benda ni yang membantu the benefits of strength training. And also like the one that I said just now, it helps your daily chores. It helps. I want to share with you guys about this one of my clients. She used to have she came up to me, then she said, Yana, I need your help. I want to I nak buat strength training. I tak nak buat lain, I nak buat strength training aja. I was wondering, kenapa Then she was like really eager, tau, Yana, boleh tak I carry this much. So I was like planning for her. I have to understand her background sebab dia pun ada masalah sleep disc. I was like, okay, sleep disc and you want to do strength training, why? Rupanya, I got to know that actually I'm taking care of my mother. She's bedridden and I need to carry her. I having this sleep disc and I tak tahu macam mana whether I angkat tu betul ke tidak. So Masya Allah, I told her, okay, I understand why you really want this so much because you want to help your mom. And yeah, she managed to few session, I think about almost 20 over session. Then she said, Yana, thank you so much. I leave my mother now better. Dulu dia angkat, memang tak tahu teknik nak angkat berat macam mana. So bila dah angkat, bila dah belajar, dah go for trainings and everything, Alhamdulillah she managed to do, and without any pain at dekat on her back. So I'm like, okay, you're doing this for a good reason, for a good cause, not only for yourself but also to help your mom. And just few months early this year, the mother passed away. Yeah, and she said, I already done my part and I already took care of her. So she said, thank you Yana for all the tips and help that you. I mean like sometimes kita buat ni bukan untuk kita tapi untuk orang lain. Kita nak bantu orang lain. That's why we need kita ada kudrat yang Allah bagi untuk kita bantu orang lain. Okay, and di sini saya tegaskan kepentingannya bukan untuk diri sendiri tapi kita untuk khidmat untuk orang lain. Okay, alright. Okay, moving forward, types of stretching. Okay, type of stretchingnya dia ada, kalau you Google memang banyak. Static stretching, ada dynamic stretching, ballistic stretching, active isolated stretching, myofascial release stretching. So all these types of stretching digalakkan untuk buat every day pada mereka yang tak ada endo pun memang boleh buat, okay, because you need to lengthen your muscle, okay. Then it is also good for you to do before your workout and after your workout. Okay, this is to prevent injury. Okay, I always tell my clients or anyone who asks me for tips, please make sure that when you work out, you bukan eager nak buat tanpa memikirkan apakah consequences yang berlaku. Okay, so you kena fikirkan after that what would happen. So that's why bila kita buat workout tu, make sure you ada proper warm up and also proper cooling down cooling down. Okay, so what type of workout? Ramai yang tak tahu. Ramai yang tak nak pergi gym because they feel that okay, itu tempat lelaki, banyak lelaki, kita kena jaga ikhtilat. I understand, alright. So gym pada mereka yang tak adventurous, yang tak nak, yang pemalu, memang pemalu, okay, we don't talk about that, okay. But in general, I just have to explain everyone. Okay, you can do workout in the gym. So normally, there's always a machine to help you, okay. You can do barbell squat, you can do dumbbell shoulder press, there's a lot of machine. It's just that you need to make sure that you are doing it right. How you do? Always, this is some tips for those yang baru nak masuk gym, tak tahu. Okay, this is just little tips for you. Make sure that when you pergi dekat machine tu, you tengok kat tepi tu. Kat tepi tu dia ada macam this the gambar with the instruction. Always look that and always understand which part of the muscle that you are using. Kadang-kadang ada orang, okay, buat ni kaki lah, okay lah, buat. Tapi dia rasa kat tempat lain. Ataupun dia tak rasa. Di sini pentingnya for you to connect your mind with the muscle that you are working with. It's like mind connection with the muscle. Then you can get the punya result. Baru you akan nampak, oh kat sini, patut, aku rasa. Then you can, okay, baru boleh tengok cermin, baru okay, I got my bicep ready. Okay, jangan ada orang, asal dah buat, tak ada apa-apa pun. Because you don't connect your mind with the muscle that you're working with. Alright, so make sure always, hatta dekat gym ke dekat rumah pun, always remember you have to connect your mind and your muscle. Alright, dia kena ada macam related. Okay Yana, today we are going to do squat. Okay, make sure you rasa dekat you punya glutes, you must rasa dekat you punya bam, you must rasa dekat you punya quads, dekat your paha. All those are the muscles that you're working with. So kat situ baru you cakap, okay, so you tak akan rasa frustration, you tak akan rasa bosan, doing something that it doesn't connect your mind and your body doesn't connect, there must be something wrong somewhere. Okay, alright. So kalau kita nak tahu apa nak buat kat gym, you can always approach any of the staff there. Jangan malu. Kalau rasa malu, gym is not your place, okay, fine. We go for cardio. Okay, cardio, like I said just now, dia akan bantu untuk you punya cardiovascular. Okay, you punya degupan jantung, then you have a better heart rate, you know. This one you can do like 40 minutes to 60 minutes of cardio every day. Kalau you don't have, I don't have much time, you can do 30. Can. Okay, as long as you do something for yourself, you know. It can be running, it can be light jog. Ada orang tak boleh run, jalan laju, swimming, you can do Zumba, boleh buka YouTube, you know. Then you can also do sports, you do skipping, that all those yang membantu you untuk bergerak, you know, and you tak akan rasa bosan, and bantu you untuk you punya cardiovascular. Okay, then the third one, you can also go for self-home workout, self-training or home workout. Okay, during the MCO, I understand that Decathlon has made so much money. I don't know lah, I'm just assuming, but I guess it does, you know. Mereka banyak orang start to buy equipments for themselves at home, you know. So they will start to do some home workout, which is good. You tak payah keluar and you still in your comfort zone, alright. Cuma make it right. Okay, sometimes ada orang buat workout, I think about 10 minutes dah, I'm done already. Berapa workout? 2 je. Kenapa? Penat, and most of the time baring. That is where you don't see the result. Like I said, you can't connect your mind and your body. That's why you rasa macam a bit frustrated. Find something that makes you happy. Okay, home workout, it can be actually 3 or 4 sets each workout, you know, 30 to 40 seconds. Do it as much as you can, as long as you know that you are doing it right. Okay, and make sure that you rasa selepas workout, whether kita nak tahu whether workout tu berkesan atau tidak, kita rasa selepas tu kita rasa satisfied. Dia bukan rasa sakit badan, dia bukan cakap bila kita angkat berat-berat ni kita kena rasa sakit baru kita ada. No. You are not hurting your body, you know. Kita bukan workout sebab nak sakitkan badan, tak. Kita nak workout sebab kita nak rasa happy, enjoy, you know. Make sure that your muscles are moving and working, alright. So ada orang, okay, this is another tips pada siapa yang selepas workout tu ada rasa sore, rasa sengal, rasa macam tak boleh angkat, especially kalau do squats, or people do squats. I myself also do squats, and like sometimes like nak bangun yang macam like you know. That is normal. Okay, that is normal if it doesn't goes more than 72 hours. Okay, 1-2 hari tu that is like okay, understand. Tapi kalau dia dah lebih, kalau you rasa sakit dia macam sakit kena cucuk, sakit sharp pain, that is something wrong. Okay, normally dia akan rasa sengal-sengal. What you do, you just leave it like that, ataupun biarkan, atau you tak tahan sangat, you just ambil ais, tekap, but please do not put any minyak panas and urut. No, please don't. Okay, let the muscle recover itself. Okay, banyakkan makan, increase your intake of protein, and also drink a lot of water. It helps you to recover quickly. Okay, maybe pada yang baru-baru tu mungkin dia akan, it takes a while. Kalau dia more daripada ada orang, because badan kita unik, so ada orang sampai seminggu, ada orang sehari, ada orang 2-3 hours after that dah fine, you know. It depends pada badan masing-masing. Okay, and Namira, am I done with my 20 minutes, or I still have more? Oh, I'm done. Oh my God. Okay, I'm so sorry to take a lot of time. Okay, so kat sini I would encourage, I would call everyone untuk menghulurkan derma anda, okay, to support our madrasah. And today is Ramadan, mudah-mudahan dengan apa yang kita keluarkan ini diberkati Allah, kita ditambahkan lebih lagi rezeki kita daripada apa jua aspek, and I hope that everyone here will mendapat keberkatan daripada bulan Ramadan ini, insya-Allah. Dan mudah-mudahan kita doa sama-sama, mudah-mudahan kita semua dapat bertemu dengan malam Lailatul Qadar, and hopefully everyone here will have a good day and better Ramadan for this year, inshallah. So if anything, you can just email or not WhatsApp, email or DM me in my IG, and I hand over this to Namira. Okay, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Coach di atas perkongsian yang sangat informatif. Paparan senaman tadi pun nampaknya mudah untuk dilakukan, especially the body weight exercises. Itu tak payah, tak perlukan apa-apa instruments ataupun equipment. So you can do it at your own comfort, bila-bila masa saja, bila tanpa memerlukan apa-apa equipment. Okay, the concept of mind and muscle connection, itu pun essential juga, taking points as well. Kesihatan ni harus diingatkan ianya adalah anugerah yang tidak patut kita sia-siakan. Jadi sebagai tanda kita mensyukuri di atas nikmat yang telah diberikan ini, iaitu nikmat kesihatan ini, maka cubalah kita jaganya dengan rapi, kita cubalah bersenam, jaga pemakanan ni semua ya. Seterusnya kita ke acara yang ketiga, iaitu endometriosis, boleh solat ke tidak? To pray or not to pray? Dan sangat teruja kerana di segmen ini kita akan bersama ustazah yang pakar dalam fiqh wanita. Beliau juga merupakan senior saya, mufawadah juga ketika menuntut di Madrasah Aljunied Al-Islamiah. Masya Allah, ramai sekali rakan-rakan mufawadah dan idmaj yang sekarang ini hebat-hebat pelaka. Dan saya amat kagum dengan pencapaian mereka. Seorang pendakwah yang tidak asing di kalangan masyarakat kita, Ustazah Nadia Hanim Abdul Rahman, who currently leads Al-Wafa, an institute that aims to provide moral and spiritual guidance and illuminate souls through knowledge and wisdom. Before graduating with BA Usuluddin from Al-Azhar University, she studied women's fiqh extensively at Daruz Zahra in Tarim, Hadramaut, Yemen. Ustazah Nadia is also an honorary council member of the Islamic Scholars and Teachers Association of Singapore, Pergas, dan kini dipersilakan Ustazah Nadia Hanim Abdul Rahman dengan segala hormatnya. Falyatafaddal mashkura.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Amma ba'd. Terima kasih Ustazah Namira. Sekarang saya punya adik-adik, so saya panggil Ustazah Namira, Ustazah Liana, ni Ustazah kita juga ni kerana graduan dari Madrasah Aljunied Al-Islamiah. Subhanallah, ini kerja keras usaha Ustazah Namira. Saya dapati dia buat semuanya segala-galanya sendiri. Jadi alhamdulillah saya sangat bersyukur ramai yang hadir kerana ambil kesempatan hari Ahad. Biasanya orang nak lepak-lepak, nak spend time dengan keluarga. Alhamdulillah antum semua ambil kesempatan untuk spend time dengan kami juga di sini. InsyaAllah mudah-mudahan segala ilmu yang kita pelajari bermanfaat buat kita di dunia dan di akhirat kelak. Terutama sekali salam sayang buat Teacher Nana, Mudirah Madrasah Aljunied. Terima kasih kerana sudi membuka ruang ini untuk kami supaya kami boleh mengajarkan kepada ramai, dan juga para ustazat juga yang ada di sini. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Buat semua juga saya lupa tadi buat para akhwat sekalian. Jadi di sini insya-Allah saya akan share slide. Saya nak macam kelang-kabut memang agak kelang-kabut hari ini. Jadi saya nak share dulu. Okeylah, slide saya dalam bahasa Inggeris. InsyaAllah saya akan sampaikan bahasa Inggeris. Memang tadi Ukhti Namira dia beritahu kita santai aja, apa yang selesa untuk kita. Cuma sekarang ni memenangkan slide bahasa Inggeris, saya akan sampaikan bahasa Inggeris. Dan insyaAllah mudah-mudahan apa yang saya sampaikan sempatlah untuk disampaikan. Okay, ladies, biasa saya akan cakap ladies and gentlemen, tapi sekarang semua ladies. I hope there's no gentleman, because this is quite explicit, whatever that I'm going to present. It's very, only ladies can understand lah. Okay, it's very explicit. We're going to talk about bleeding. Actually, gentlemen, if they want to join in and listen, I'm okay as well. Okay, I'm the type of ustazah who doesn't mind to present to both ladies and gentlemen. All right, because whatever it is, this is learning. So learning, strictly professional, we are learning. Okay, so first and foremost, I would like to inform everyone that this topic that I'll be presenting is on irregular bleeding. Okay, and we are focusing on those who are going through going through endometriosis. I hope that I say it out correctly, I pronounce it correctly, endometriosis. Okay, because I can understand that most ladies who are affected by this this issue, they have issues with irregular bleeding as well. How do I know? Because I've been teaching about irregular bleeding for years, since 2009, and it's been like it's been 12 years or more. And I've had people coming to me saying that I have this kind of issue, and my bleeding, it's very erratic, it's painful, it's erratic, and I'm not too sure whether to make a prayer or not, whether to fast in the month of Ramadan. It's always an issue. And of course, as guilty as charged, I never know about this issue until people come to me and ask and told me about it. And then I started to learn about it. I asked some doctors about it, and I started to read about it, okay, for my understanding, okay, because I do not have such issue, but I do have issues with my, what do you call that, with my ovaries as well. I have other issues as well that cause prolonged bleeding as well. I have istihada. That's the reason why I know so much about it, and I make it a point for me. I make it a point to learn about this. So this is the book, book that I refer to. Okay, if you look here, this is the Arabic book. I believe that there is a translation in Malay, but I'm not too sure. I just studied the Arabic version of it, and it's on the rulings of health, the rulings of bleeding, in the fiqh point of view on health, on nifas as well as istihada, in the for the mazhab of madhab Shafi'i. So that means, if you ask me, are you saying that there are different rulings for madhab Hanafi, there are different rulings for madhab Maliki? The answer is yes. There are different rulings from other mazhab, and it's quite evident. The ruling is quite stark difference between madhab. Okay, but since we are holding on to madhab Shafi'i, so I'm going to present to you on madhab Shafi'i. I've learned all other mazhab as well, but I will only focus on madhab Shafi'i and madhab Shafi'i, and this is my point of reference. Okay, so if you want to, if someone asks you and you say that, oh, I learned this from Ustazah Nadia, for example, where is her reference? Reference is super important when it comes to Islamic studies. It's very important. Now, ladies, I just want you to be informed. Okay, 30 minutes or 20 minutes is not enough for me to give explanation on all bleeding, okay, or even on discharges. So usually what I do is that I will divide it into parts. Okay, so I understand that this is a very short session. It's just for just introduction of it. I'm not even going to go through introduction. I just will give you some tips. If you are having spotting or prolonged bleeding because of your issue, and you have not gone through any lessons, what should I do? Because maybe you are trying to find lessons, but there are no lessons, or if you have tried to DM me, Ustazah Nadia never respond. So at times I feel guilty also for not responding. It's not because I don't want to, because my DM, it moves too fast. Okay, I've received about a minimum about 50 messages per day. That is minimum. It can go up to hundreds of messages where people asking me. So that's the reason why it's very difficult for me to keep up with my DM. So, but I do feel that I have to help in some ways. Okay, at least if the ladies have not gone through the lessons, at least they have some tips, they have some information for them to go with, and so that they can know when to pray or when not to pray. Okay, so kalau Malay kakak payung dah macam dah lama tak pakai something like that lah. I never use that, so it feels so weird me using that. Anyways, okay. Anyways, I hope that yang ngantuk-ngantuk boleh terbangun sekarang ni. Now, Ramadan, petang, asar, rasa it's not a good time to learn something, you know. Ada lembek semuanya. Okay, now, so the lessons that I go through is always number one, I will go through blood and discharges introductory, and then after that, solving issues on irregular bleeding. Usually, I would like to suggest to the ladies, if you do not have problems with irregular bleeding, and you feel that you're so overwhelmed with the introductory, you can skip the solving issues on irregular bleeding. But if you are having problems, like you have endometriosis, and this issue, and you are having spotting, prolonged bleeding, and sometimes you are going through menopause, for example, okay, these are the ladies who they are required to learn. It becomes an obligation for them to learn, because you cannot just every time you have problems you go to the ustazah, and if the ustazah has the time to answer you, then it's good for you. But most of the time, I know that our asatizahs, our ustazahs, they are so overwhelmed with too many commitments now. So you have to learn it on your own. Okay. So what are the things that usually I will go through? Okay. So introductory, I will usually take 4 hours. Istihadah, irregular 4 hours, and these are the topics that I will go through in the sessions. Okay, so if you ask me, Ustazah, so when is your next session? I have no idea. Okay, I have to check my timetable, but I've already made promise to many that my next session will be definitely around June or after June lah, after June. Okay, it might be in July. So if you want the complete lesson, you can follow me in my IG for more details. Okay, now back to the topic, to pray or not to pray. Okay, understand that if we have issues with our bleeding, the first and foremost that we need to do, I don't know how to emphasize this more, but this is my ultimate emphasis to everyone, to all ladies. If you are having an irregular bleeding, the first thing that you need to do is to see the doctor. Because irregular bleeding is a way of your body to tell you that there is some issue within you that you need to address. But it's not always, but most of the time, I think more than 90% of the time, if you're having prolonged bleeding, it's not something that you can just say, never mind lah, I just forget about it. Okay, prolonged is a serious matter. Even in fiqh, the term of irregular bleeding, istihadah, is considered as dam fasad. That means in English, in Malay, it means darah kotor, or is erratic or irregular bleeding. Okay, there's a problem there. There's a problem with your bleeding. There's a problem with your cycle. So first thing that usually we would advise ladies to do if they are experiencing prolonged bleeding is to see a doctor. Okay, hopefully there's nothing wrong or nothing major. Okay, so if somehow when you go to the doctor and the doctor says that, look, there's nothing wrong with you, for example, that's the reason why we have to have this advocacy, Namira, because usually, the awareness is not there. I think like 20 years ago, especially, no one ever heard about endo. The first time I heard about endometriosis is because from the students coming to me, and then of course and then I saw postings from Namira, and from there I read through as well. So that's when we are well aware of the existence of this endometriosis. Okay, so of course check with your doctor first, and then if the doctor say okay, you don't have any problems, check with go for a second opinion, or you can talk to other people. And then after that, if somehow you do not have any problems at all, issues, it might not be because of something that is physical or medical. It might be something that is worrying you. Okay, at times mental issues, for example, it can cause imbalance, hormone imbalance, and that can cause erratic in your bleeding as well, irregular bleeding. Okay, because of hormonal imbalance due to depression or any mental health issues. Okay, so this part you have to address it. Okay, now the part I'm coming in. Okay, the medical part is not me. Okay, my part is on the fiqh part of it. Okay, so now when do I pray? All right, so I just need you to understand the fundamental understanding of fiqh of bleeding. Now, in fiqh, there are 3 types of bleeding, not more, not less. There's one, what we call as head menstrual bleeding. We are all aware of that. And then we have nifas, postnatal bleeding. And postnatal bleeding only happens when someone has delivered a baby, okay, dead or alive. Okay, that means at times they are still born. But once the person delivered the baby, is considered, and the bleeding comes afterward, is considered as nifas. But if they are still fetus or baby inside your womb, okay, and then you're saying that I've not delivered yet, I'm still in my last stage of pregnancy, and then there's bleeding, Ustazah. What is that bleeding? That bleeding is considered as istihada. Okay, because you still have the baby inside your womb. There's still something inside your womb. There's still the human being inside your womb. Okay. And then after that, I'm not going to talk about nifas. Okay, so health, and then we have istihada. Now, health, the minimum in fiqh, it's like yawmun wa laylah, that is 24 hours, and the maximum is 15 days. No one can say that I've been having my period and it's been 20 days. I've been having my health and it's been 20 days. And the whole of 15 days, you consider those bleeding as health, as menstruation. In fiqh, there's no such thing as 20 days of menstruation. Some parts of it, yes, you have a 20 days of bleeding, correct. We're not dismissing that. We're not saying that you're lying, no. Yeah, because people are going through that. I mean, I know I went through more than 20 days of bleeding. And then what we need to know is we have to learn how to differentiate. Some parts of the bleeding out of that 20 days, some parts of it are menstruation. The other part of it is actually your istihada. So that means the part when you're having your menstruation is considered as you having your hadas besar. Okay, you're having your period. You cannot salat, you cannot puasa in Ramadan, etc. You know, all the things that you cannot do during your menstruation. And then the other parts of it, when you're still bleeding, you still have bleeding. You still have the bleeding on your pad, for example. But you can still pray, you can still fast in the month of Ramadan and do all the activities that is permissible for those who are not having menstruation. Okay, so now the problem is, how can I differentiate now? Which days can I know whether it's a head or whether it's istihada? Okay, now let's go here. Now, so the head, let's start off with the menstruation first. Menstruation, okay, I usually put it like here. Hold on, yes, okay. Menstruation, it is not more, it is considered as menstruation, the bleeding is not more than 15 days. In an instance, in a case where you are having pauses in your bleeding, it's not prolonged, it's not spotting, but pauses. Okay, so I give you an example. This is the example of someone who is having her menstruation. This is a real scenario, it's a real chat from someone. So the person says that I have a spotting day 1, day 2, I have a spotting. And then suddenly there's nothing. And then after that, it's a very major bleeding, not major lah. That means there's a lot lah. She knows that this is health. And then after that, at day 14 finish, day 15 no more already. So day 14 it started to transition. Bleedings like that, it transitions. And then until day 14, I find that there's a bit of spotting. Now, the question is, usually they ask, how long is my bleeding? The bleeding for this person, the head for this person is actually 14 days. So day 1 and day 2, although is considered as spotting, it's known to be, okay, it's considered to be menstruation as well. So the person has 14 days of menstruation. Okay, now ladies, this is for those who have regular menstruation. I repeat, those who have regular menstruation. But in cases with ladies who have issues with regards to their bleeding, okay, you do not consider this as regular. We call ourselves as mar'atu mustahada, okay, or imra'ah mustahada. We consider ourselves as a person, a lady with an issue of irregular bleeding. Once you are a person with that issue, I have that issue before, immediately when you spot a spotting, you take that as your istihada. Okay, we don't use this hukum for those who have regular bleeding. For those with regular bleeding, I will explain that in my lesson. But because we are in this session, we're talking about ladies with issue, so I'm telling all of you, okay, I'm teaching all of you, assuming that we have problems with irregular bleeding, although that we do not have endometriosis, but we have problems, we have experience with irregular bleeding. So we are imra'ah mustahada, we are mustahada. So every time when we have a spotting, take it that is your istihada. Okay, take it that is your istihada. So that means during Ramadan, alamak, I have spotting. Should I puasa or not? Puasa. Now, the next important thing that you need to do, okay, you can never know whether that is your istihada or haid actually. You can never know. At that point of time, you can never know. So what you need to do is that first, you take it that is your istihada, you pray as per normal, you fast as per normal, and the second thing that you need to do, you have to jot down. Because you can never know that is istihada. Maybe that is your haid. Suddenly, your bleeding becomes regular again. I have that kind of experience. Irregular, but it's never forever. Okay, for example, for 6 months, it's been istihada. Suddenly, the next 6 months, it's fine already. I find that just now when Yana mentioned about the exercises help. Yes, you know why? I exercise, suddenly my bleeding becomes regular again. Not suddenly, because I think there's something changes inside okay, because I took it from my doctor. That's what my doctor asked me to do. You jangan makan minum tidur je. I told him, I told her, but I'm active, doctor. I always teach, walk there, jaga anak. You have to be very active, on the ball. And that's not enough. You have to have a routine. Because at that time, if you just do that kind of activities, you can just rest. But this one, you have to push yourself, you have to have a routine. And at times, our irregular bleeding, it becomes regular again. So you can never know whether that is actually your istihada or your haid. So what the second part is, please jot down. Okay, please jot down. And then when you look at your chart, for example, I give you this example. When you look at your chart, for example, okay, this one spotting, just a bit. Day 2 spotting. You're a person you're a mustahada. Immediately you tell yourself, nah, this is not haid, this is my spotting. Because it's just spotting, this is my istihada. So you pray and all that. And then suddenly, okay, true enough, few days later, you do not have anything. And then suddenly, on the 8-10, banyak, a lot. And then you check your schedule. Oh yeah, this is about time. This is my cycle usually. Okay, in fiqh, the cycle, we look at the cycle suci. In fiqh, we look at the cycle suci, not the cycle, the menstruation cycle, but the suci cycle. So in fiqh, the minimum is 15 days. So that means between your first bleeding to your next bleeding, ada 15 days ke tidak? So that is the fiqh for the cycle. Okay, later I will show you also. And then suddenly, ni banyak, okay, and then transition. And then you were telling yourself, ni confirm sampai hari 20 ni, confirm until the day 20. True enough, usually it's transition, until day 20. Okay, so if you count here, from day 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All of these 11, all of these are your hit. All of these are your hit. Okay, in the solving issues with irregular bleeding, I have notes teaching students how to combine the color of the hit. It's very complex, super complex. Okay, but yeah, just I think this is enough for now. Okay, so take it that 1 until 11, although that, but my blood darah start from here tau, sampai 20. This part, because it's spotting, we consider it as your istihadah. Okay, now this is the case when we are having irregular bleeding. But Ustazah, what if, okay, the same thing, spotting. You take it that I'm going to pray, I'm going to fast in Ramadan. All right, done. The same thing, 10 banyak, 11 banyak. Suddenly it transition, become sikit. 13, sikit juga. 14. And then after that, 15. You dah harap-harap 16 keluar, harap-harap 16 keluar. Sekali dia berhentilah, dia tak keluar. Dia berhenti ngam-ngam 15 from the first time you encounter bleeding. So if this is the case, you are actually not having istihadah. Alamak, terbatuk. Kalau ada air boleh minum Sorry, excuse me. I've been speaking since 9 AM just now, non-stop. Jadi macam dah to the extent. Please bear with me. I'll try my very best to push on. Okay. So if this is the case, you kan tak solat sini kan? You tak puasa sini Ramadan. You did not pray, you did not fast because you think that Ustazah kata if it's spotting, then it's istihadah. Yes, true. But at times, your irregular bleeding can become irregular. So if this is the case, that's why jotting down is important. You dah jot down. After that, what you do is that, yang I solat, yang I puasa, solat I tak sah. Tapi tak berdosa. You are not sinful because you don't know you solat during your haid. Your puasa, I dah puasa penat-penat. 2 hari ni Ustazah, tak boleh ke just let it be. No, you actually have to qada because you are in a state of haid. You're in a state of haid. So that's why one thing about istihadah, I always tell ladies, please make doa. Ya Allah, janganlah aku dihadapkan dengan istihadah because it's super complex. But I always tell the ladies also, if you go through it, if you experience it, istihadah, it's a test for you. And if this test actually push you, motivates you to learn, motivates you to take care of your ibadah, wow, you will be elevated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because you are trying your best to be near him, although that you are given that kind of complex test. It's a test. It's a complex test. Istihadah is a complex test. I don't know whether to be happy for you or to be sad for you because of course it's very difficult. I kesian, it's difficult, but at the same time, I'm happy for you because you put in the effort to learn. And this effort Allah tak sia-siakan. And this effort Allah tengok kesianlah dia dah lah sakit, lepas tu istihadah, Allah berikan pahala kerana dia sabar. Dia advocate sampai orang tahu, dia ajar orang-orang lain, for example tahan si Mira ni buat event macam gini jadi orang tahu tentang isu-isu macam gini. Okay, now, so now about the haid, okay, again, haid, spotting for regular menses, you can consider it as a mens, but for you having irregular menses, any spotting, salah saya spotting, pernah istihadah tak? Saya pernah, okay, anggap itu adalah istihadah. That's always my answer, my short answer, if it's not in a class. Anggap itu istihadah. Tapi kalau bukan, sebab tu kena catat. Kalau bukan, nanti just qada apa-apa yang perlu qada, like that. So that is the easiest way for us to answer people, so don't let them hanging. So I pun rasa bersalah tak jawab, tapi usually I will just answer. But if they want explanation, I say sorry, I cannot explain further. Okay, because that one requires lessons. Okay, now about haid, what if a person, okay, like I mentioned, the cycle of suci, the cycle of being clean from menstruation is 15 days. So for example, if you're having your mens here or bleeding, okay, And then you have 15 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Letaklah, this is in April. Ustazah, the other time, 1 and 2 April, I got bleeding. And then I'm clean from bleeding. I'm not saying suci, I'm just saying clean from bleeding. No bleeding at all. From 3 April to 17 April. Suddenly 18 April, I got bleeding some more. Now, Ustazah, it's still inside April, you know, it's still inside April now. In fiqh, as long as there's no bleeding for 15 days, the duration is 15 days. If you are clean from bleeding, the next bleeding that comes out from you, that discharge from you, we consider this as the new hit, is hit. So this is health, this is also hit. Ustazah, got 15 days tau, tengah-tengah sini got spotting. Sini spotting, ada orang kan suka gitu kan? Ya Allah, pening kepala. Now, yang tengah-tengah ni apa? Istihadah. Alright? So you have to bear in mind, I put it here. There. This lady has no issue with irregular bleeding, not istihadah. Both bleeding are menstruation. It takes a while lah. Mungkin sekarang ramai yang terkejut-kejut baru first time dengar. Siapa pernah belajar mungkin tak terkejut. Siapa yang baru belajar rasa dah apa benda ni banyaknya Ustazah masukkan. Dan macam I vomit out all the information. I'm so sorry. It's very about bleeding. Apart from it being a dry topic, it's also an overwhelming topic. I'm so sorry, okay? So I just need you to bear with this topic, and I hope that this can help you. So my advice for you is that if you have spotting, take it as your istihadah. But do not forget to jot down. Okay, these are some of the things that I teach in my lessons. And okay, this one the last. I think I can only go for the last slide here. Continue. You can take picture lah or print screen. Okay, because I can't give the whole what do you call that, slides. Okay, because that requires a lesson. But you can take a picture or print screen this one. Now, that istihadah. The first thing, okay, istihadah is the bleeding doesn't stop at all, like prolonged bleeding. Okay, we have instances where ladies go through that. And then B, or it stops only for a short while, that means spotting. Spotting, that is considered as regular bleeding because less than 24 hours kan. Kalau head kan kena more than 24 hours. This one spotting sikit. Mainkan perasaan kita betul. Keluar sikit. Alright, so that is considered as spotting. And then last one, it flows at irregular times. Baru hari itu kita uzur. Dah bersih, keluar lagi sikit, tapi sikit-sikit. Now, so these are the issues that usually people who are going through irregular bleeding or who are experiencing irregular bleeding. What are the causes? Okay, most of the causes because of medical issues. Okay, some not medical issues but related to mental health issues, and some is because of hormonal imbalance and as well as menopause. And ladies going through menopause, they also have this kind of issues. And I have nenek-nenek, not nenek lah, makcik-makcik coming up to me, Ustazah, saya pilih darah ni macam mana saya nak. Dah lah makcik-makcik paling semangat nak sembahyang, tapi tak tahu lepas dia sembahyang ke tak. Dah Ustazah kena jawab. So menopause. Menopause is not a problem lah. I mean, some of us will go through that as well. Okay, but not all ladies who are menopausing will go through irregular bleeding. Jangan start takut-takut lepas ni. Not all, okay? Just some chosen special ones. I want to make it like, this is we are ex-men. Oh, sorry, ex-women. Masya Allah. Okay. So that's about it. So now, usually what do I ask? Okay, what I would usually ask is, A, if people say, Ustazah, I have a prolonged bleeding, my question will be, what is the usual duration when you had a normal cycle? These are the questions that I will ask the person. Okay, before this, you have no problems, issues with your menstruation? No, I have normal cycle. Then what is your usual duration? Usually I would ask that. Okay, those ladies who have no issue, pernah ada irregular, pernah regular, it's easy for us to give answer. But those ladies, ada ladies yang kata daripada start saya uzur memang ada irregular. Sebab dari start uzur memang dah ada endometriosis. That one is very difficult for us. We need more time because we have to give you other rulings. There are 7 types of, mana ada tak? 7 types of wanita istihadah. Tak ada, I tak tulis kat sini. There are 7 types of rulings. Ada 7 hukum untuk istihadah itself. Untuk istihadah itself ada 7 hukum. Okay, now the next one. And do you have medical condition? Have you had irregular bleeding before? So these are the questions that I would ask. Okay, now what are the hukum? I give only one hukum. The one hukum we call it mu'tadah mumayyizah and mustahadah mu'tadah mumayyizah. Mustahadah mu'tadah mumayyizah. Okay, that is one. So the hukum is this one. Yeah. You can take picture also. There. This one can take this picture. Take just the ruling number 1. I understand that some of you must use ruling number 2 because ruling number is for people like there's this one lady came up to me, Ustazah, I've been having my bleeding for 3 months. Fresh blood. I said, is there any lesser, fresher blood? That means maybe it's like weaker blood. She said, no, it's the same color for 3 months. And I asked her, I'm so sorry. I need you to go to the doctor. 3 months fresh blood ongoing. There's a problem. Oh, Ustazah, actually, I have cancer to the uterus. That's why I'm having this. I don't know what causes it. That maybe it's because of the cancer. Most likely it's because of the cancer. So these kind of cases, if I happen to get this kind of cases, 3 months fresh blood, cannot differentiate the blood, okay, we use the second ruling. Okay, we use the second ruling. But for today's session, the ruling is just if you find that the blood is strong, okay, take it as your hit, but ensure that it's not more than 15 days. I repeat, if your bleeding is strong, take it as your hit, but make sure that it's not more than 15 days. Once it's more than 15 days, it cannot be hit anymore. That means towards the end, the transition, if it's, for example, I find that 14, 15, 16, it started to transition, 17, 18, started to be weaker blood, take those weaker blood as istihadah. So that means if you at first, you tak solat because you thought that, oh, it's just a transition from your heavy bleeding, it's just transition, but suddenly it prolongs, it continued from 15 to 16 to 17 to 18. So usually when it has the transition, the weaker blood, take that as your istihadah. Solat seperti biasa, puasa di bulan Ramadan seperti biasa. So that is the only ruling that I'm sharing with all of you. Of course, imagine I cannot cram the 4 hours of introduction to 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Okay, but I can help you so that you don't just, because I understand that some of you here DM me and then somehow I didn't answer and you might be here. I don't want to keep you hanging. So I just want to let you know if it's a sporting and you have irregular bleeding before this, take it as your sporting. Okay, wallahu a'lam bisawab. Okay, I'm going to sorry ayo. I'm going to end here. Okay, I understand that there's a Q&A, but I was told that the session ends at 4 p.m. also, right, Mira? Mira, okay. And at 4, I have to enter the meeting at 4 p.m. So if somehow you have questions, okay, you can pass it to Mira. If Mira, you pun saja juga apa. if you can answer, Yana, Mira, if you can answer them. But if you cannot answer, just keep it with you. Get your questions. Please follow me at IG. Okay, inshallah, one of these days I will answer your questions through my DM. Okay, don't DM me. DM yang tak nampak. Kasih Mira. Kalau kasih Mira lagi selamat. Yes, kasih Mira soalan-soalan lagi selamat. If it's for me, if the question is fiqh for me, kasih Mira. Because kalau kasih DM, I tak nampak. DM I tak baca sekarang ni. Okay, pass it to Mira. I'm so sorry, Teacher Nana. I'm so sorry. I need to take my leave. At 4 p.m. I have to enter another meeting. And Mira, Yana, thank you so much for all the information, all the knowledge. I've learned a lot. Tadi sambil dengar-dengar tahu, I dah tahu dah sekarang macam nak exercise semua. Lepas ni semangat nak angkat weight. Okay, thank you everyone for your patience, for being with us. I can see have Faiza, I can see Eva, Piha. Ni semua adik-adik saya ni. Doakan nanti buka puasa doakan tau. Okay. Okay, saya minta maaf, saya mohon diri dulu. InsyaAllah nanti kalau ada waktu kita boleh jumpa lagi insyaAllah. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Wallahu a'lam bishawab.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Ustazah. InsyaAllah kita bertemu lagi. Sesiapa yang ada soalan, mohon maaf sebab Ustazah Nadia kita ni memang ada meeting yang terkejut last minute. Jadi mohon maaf lah di atas this last minute thing.
Yeah,
so I understand.
Tapi I pun tak nak macam mengecewakan kan.
Ya betul.
Your questions to Mira. Mira ambil soalan nanti insyaAllah. After this I will find time to answer your question. But please follow me at Instagram. Okay.
Di situ dia nampak tu Zoom tu ataupun you can look at the chat. I already letak kat dalam chat the ways on how you can reach out to our speakers.
Thank you so much. Thank you Teacher Nana for this opportunity and insyaAllah sama kita ambil kesempatan ini bulan Ramadan kita sedekah kepada madrasah. Kalau kita dah sedekah mungkin kita boleh sebarkan kepada ahli keluarga kita, kawan-kawan yang lain. Ini saya pun lagi saya nak letak kat social media lagi. Ini Madrasah Aljunied dah banyak berjasa sampai murid-muridnya, alumni-nya boleh berjasa kepada masyarakat juga. Memang salute lah, memang kita akan selama-lamanya berjiwa Madrasah Aljunied. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Kita sangat mohon doa daripada Teacher Nana, daripada ustazah kami, asatizah kami semua. Terima kasih, saya minta diri dulu. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okey, majlis kini membuka ruang untuk Q&A. Kalau ada siapa-siapa ada soalan untuk Ketua Bahasa Iliana, Coach Iliana and myself, we'll just take around 5 to 10 more minutes. I understand that we have exceeded our time yang supposed to end at 4 p.m. but bear with us maybe around 5 or 10 more minutes. Because I see in the chat, right, ada soalan untuk Coach Iliana kita sebenarnya. Mungkin we can address that question. Sekejap saya cari dekat atas sekali mana dia.
I think I saw one. All the workouts kena buat warm ups.
Yes, that's the question. Okay, Coach.
Right. Okay. How should I address this? There are certain things. Okay. We take it this way. Warm up untuk memanaskan badan supaya badan you tak terkejut with whatever workout you are doing after that. Okay, dia macam kita nak start engine kereta, kita tak on kereta terus gerak, terus light speed. No, you have to switch it on, you have to wait for a while, you have to turn on the aircon, you have to like make it like okay, temperature naik, okay, now you're steady to go. And kita tak terus start with gear 5. No, we go with gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, same goes to our body. Okay, so warm-ups, dia tengok pada kadar exercise tu sendiri. Kalau let's say you are lifting weights, okay, you need to really warm up. Sometimes I also understand, Namira pun faham kalau kita nak lift weight saja, our warm up can take up till half an hour. We just to make sure that every single muscle that we are going to use is really properly warm up. Dia macam tu. Tapi kalau you know that your workout is not that heavy, it's not that intense, so cukup hanya untuk memanaskan badan, naikkan a bit of your heart rate, make sure that all your joints and all your joints are working. Sebab kita tak nak what happen kalau kita tak warm up, kita takut nanti joints kita akan injured. Kalau misal kata kita nak main badminton, okay, I'm giving you an example, main badminton, tapi kita tak warm up dynamic stretching, okay? Dynamic stretching, which is you have to move your body. Kita tak nak bagi apa they call that, this fluid dekat joints tu untuk bergerak, tak nak gerakkan all the blood flow and all that. Takut nanti tengah-tengah main cramp. Things like that. So that's the reason kenapa kita perlu warm up pada sebelum kita workout. Kalau kita contoh nak even hatta you nak walk, brisk walk ke apa, you can always start with light stretch on your quads, on your glutes, on your calf, supaya you tak cramp tengah-tengah jalan. Alright. Then what else? Oh yeah, I forgot to add on this just now. One thing you need to stretch, because apabila for those yang ada endo, I understand that from Namira punya story, orang yang ada endo ni dia akan selalu crampkan badan macam tu, macam like curl gini. Okay, so what happen kalau kita dah kerap every time ada menstruation, badan kita macam ni, kita akan create di satu posture iaitu slouch ataupun macam hunch gitu kan, badan kita macam tu. Okay, so what happen is nanti dalam masa jangka yang lama kita dengan sendiri kita akan membungkuk. Okay, sedangkan badan kita naturally tak macam tu. Okay, dan digalakkan untuk stretch, untuk open up. Kita bukan menggalakkan untuk jalan mendada, tidak tapi to make sure that your spine is straight, your spine is good in the sense that okay, you boleh diri dengan tegak, macam tu. And to do this, like Nami said, to do this sometimes it takes it's difficult. So that's why you need to do some stretching. The easiest is to just lift up your hand, naik atas, just to make sure that you open up your chest. Make sure your spine is straight. Okay, another tips that you want to know whether your body is hunching or not. Okay, you just look at the side, okay, of your ears. Okay, mostly orang yang hunch dia akan kepala telinga dia, cuping telinga ni dia tak inline dengan you punya shoulder. Okay, sama ada dia akan ke depan macam ini, so means telinga dia lebih daripada shoulder macam ni. Okay, for those that having that syndrome. So what you need to do, just push it back. Push it back. Okay, so make sure you tengok kat cermin, kuping telinga ni selari tak dengan bahu. Bahu ni selari tak dengan, make sure that you have that straight. So kalau orang yang for those yang desk bound, so selalu yang tengok handphone macam ni, you will create that. Your kepala akan ke depan macam tu. Alright. Then push, just make sure that you always push back. Always open up your chest. Take that. Always do that. Kalau dah duduk 10 to 15 minutes, open up. Stand straight, push your chin back, make sure it's straight. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, for those yang ada endo, make sure that your lower body is always stretched, your glutes, your calf, adductor, abductor, your hips, hip opener, your spine, all those are the places that crucial yang perlu di stretch every time kalau ada sakit ni, supaya you tidak mengerang they call it mengerang dalam kesakitan. Yeah, my Malay, mengerang dalam kesakitan. Yes. Okay, insyaAllah. So yeah, I hope that answer the question. To the
Thank you, Coach Iliana. Okay, move on. The next question is actually from Safia. Okay, remind me, I will ask this question for you to Ustazah Nadia. Same goes to Insyirah Nabila. Okay, I hutang Insyirah Nabila as well. Remind me kalau lupa. And also D and Hana. So ada 4 soalan yang I will relay to Ustazah Nadia. Now following the next one, okay, Razia say thank you. Razia, welcome. Ada maybe kita boleh ambil lagi satu lagi soalan kalau ada untuk Coach Iliana ataupun saya. Mungkin boleh unmute yourself kalau ada just one more question, then after that kita dah nak menutup tirai lah. Kalau ada. Ada tak ada? Kita ada Okay, kalau tidak ada, not to worry. Today's event is actually stream live on YouTube, so you can just search for my YouTube channel Namira Muhammad. So this is for your easy reference lah. At any point of time you need to do some revision, share with your friends or family members, you can just share the link to the YouTube tu lah. And also I will have a recap and review of today's session. So this I will relay by the following week. So check out my website endosupport.sg to ensure that you don't miss out on this. Okay, alright. Jutaan terima kasih sekali lagi kepada para hadirin dan hadirat semuanya kerana memeriahkan majlis ini dan sama-sama menjayakan majlis ini dengan menuruti tata susila, tema dan syarat yang tersedia. Diharap dapat terus-menerus memberikan sokongan anda terhadap Madrasah Aljunied Al-Islamiah. The ways to donate is also included in the chat. Okay, as you click on the leave button, you will be brought to provide your feedback post-event. It is a short survey that takes around 5 minutes of your time, but it's essential to the development of E for endometriosis. So please help us improve. Okay, kita menutupi majlis dengan tasbih kafarah dan suratul Asr. Yang merah itu saga, yang kurik itu pundi, yang indah bahasa, yang baik budi. Saya memohon maaf di atas segala kekurangan di sepanjang pengandalian majlis ini. Sehingga berjumpa lagi di lain kesempatan. Taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum salihal a'mal. Akhirul kalam. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pada teacher, panelis, alumni yang siapa nak stay back ambil gambar sekejap boleh